Hey all, welcome back to SSX Blur. I'm Insetic. With me on this is Blank Tester,
Hey kids, how's it going?
Turo,
Ah.
and Zindictive.
Sup, lads?
We unlocked Peak 2, we're going to Peak 2.
Nice.
First off, I'm just showing the characters I have unlocked, along the way. Again, yeah, some returning names, some new ones, still all look like they're from The Sims.
Yeah.
I've determined how to structure this game. I'm just gonna go through the tournaments.
Okay.
And then if you all are clamoring for more SSX Blur, maybe I could do something showing off, the challenges. They're mostly not hard.
Please.
There was one or two where it was like, why is this so hard? But it still wasn't anything worth showing off specifically. So yeah, just going through the tournaments. And so as I mentioned, I'm on Peak 2, and there's two tournaments here, the third and the fourth. And winning the fourth will unlock Peak 3, and then we'll have access to, all the tracks.
Nice.
So it's gonna be sweet.
Jesus Christ, the lens flare.
Yeah. I forgot all about how big the lens flares are.
Yeah.
I mean, the Wii technically is a little more powerful than the PS2, and man, they really put it to good use.
I mean,
Yeah.
technically the
We'll see.
GameCube was more powerful than the PS2 and the Xbox, but it had these tiny little discs that wouldn't make use of it.
So off camera, I did all the
Collected
single
all the-
events on Peak 1, and that gave me some more stat points, and I also collected enough Uber tokens to have 3 of the unlockable Ubers. Again, those are going to be the full Ubers, if you remember
boy.
SSX on tour.
Hell yeah.
Not just like the one-footed ones. And no, it's not like you have to input the shape for the one-footed and then do the other one. No, you could just do the Uber. So you could just do the infinity symbol and it'll do the one that's that. But yeah, you'll see those.
Some of those shapes are just kind of dumb. Was one of them a fucking coat hanger?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I think there were just shapes for you to do with your hands for the most part.
I feel like the Wiimote, some of those shapes are just... they don't look
Some of
fun
them
to
look
do.
really difficult, and some of them look...
Yeah.
Some of them definitely take a lot longer than others. When it wants to register, I can bang out that infinity symbol real quick. The one that looks like a treble clef.
Right.
My god, I'm already halfway through my jump by the time I, get that whole thing done.
I can't even remember what a treble clef looks like all that well.
That's not one of the ones that I'm
It
doing.
looks like
so-
the hand gesture you have to do in SSX on Blur to do that one Uber trick.
Okay, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But we got Between the Sheets as
Alright.
a track on Peak 2 in the first track of this race. It's kind of interesting that they, had to rename Son of a Birch and Hot Damn, but Between the Sheets slipped through.
Yeah. I guess
know what?
between the ice sheets.
I'm kind of appreciating just, the dynamicness of the lion because, oh my god, everything is so bright.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about that in part 1 or 2 or one of them.
Yeah,
we talked.
Man.
So the whites are incredible. I mean, if I could wash my clothes and get them to that color, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
The washing machine at my place kind of sucks.
This was
dang.
definitely the era where, they had line effects and such, and they were like, we're gonna use the fuck out of them.
Oh man.
Uber!
Oh.
Yeah.
Shake to recover.
The first one you'll get, that infinity symbol, just happens to be the one that's, way slower to fucking land. Whatever. You'll see them all.
So can you only do that specific... It tells you to do an Uber shape at the bottom. And... Do you,
I'm gonna
can
answer
only
you
do-
already. No, you don't have to do the one at the bottom. It's like in SSX Tricky when it's do an Uber, L2 plus square, and then you can do any of them. It's
It's
just
just
It's
suggestion.
just prompting you if you forgot
it's
what an
weirdly
Uber is.
suggesting one to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's for if you forget that you have these things, or I mean, I definitely would forget half the shapes that are available to me if they didn't. Well, they flash
That's
on
true.
screen so small without a clear indication of which direction to go. I don't know whether I would do them
Yeah.
right either way, but
You need to get your reading glasses for this game.
does it look like there were other words behind "you qualified" that? Next time you see "you qualified,"
Yeah, it looks a little sloppy, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think the font choice is,
yeah, they're trying to
It's a
make
lot of
this a
weird
lot
stuff.
more, I don't know, kid friendly, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, across the board, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Across the board sounds like a great name for a level.
Oh, yeah.
True.
That would have fit in perfectly in On Tour.
Yeah, like between the sheets.
Between the sheets, mind the gap on the rocks across the board.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about the? How do you feel about the music?
It's alright, honestly.
Not particularly my thing. I would have preferred a licensed soundtrack, but also considering the cost-saving measures that this game was for, I don't think it's the worst thing they could have done. Imagine if it was just complete silence.
Like, part of me, honestly, like, prefers original music over just getting a freaking radio hit or what have you. Because I feel like the effort a composer can bring in can really hypen up the game more than just getting out the biggest hits and such.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Half the screen is just white. It's just white pixels.
That's incredible.
If you were to use an eyedropper tool on like half the screen right now, it would just be F F F F F F.
Are we even skating down a mountain or are we skating down heaven? Because it's so fucking bright.
This is snowboard heaven. I don't skate heaven, snowboard heaven. Someone finished that joke for me.
I do like the blur effect here that they got. Oh, that's why it's called blur.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I do like that effect. It looks nice.
Yeah. I really like the small jitters your character does in the air.
Yeah. Oh my god.
They're really ready to go.
I didn't want to bring this out yet, but like while recording this, I already felt like I had new problems with the motion controls that I didn't have in part 1 and 2. That jittering you see in the air is the same thing you'd get in the previous games when you were like turning your character and then you got into the air but didn't release the thumbstick. So your character was just kind of awkwardly leaning, trying to turn. So it seems like, again, in trying to analyze, okay, what specifically is the game reading? It seems like either I'm getting sloppier with like rotating the nunchuck slightly to the left or right when trying to do tricks in the air and causing that to happen, or I don't know, my controllers are already falling apart, but that seems weird.
Are you playing this on Dolphin or are you playing this on a real
No,
one?
native hardware.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Native.
Dolphin
maybe
again
that'd be
had
a problem
performance
with it.
issues and then just weird glitches like multiple inputs on everything when I was trying. So, we went through Between the Sheets, and now we're on Proud Powder, which is the renamed Son of a Birch. But it's kind of interesting, they changed this to be a slopestyle track. Like, there is no race component to this, and with that change, they have added, points adders and multipliers. Yeah. They've also actually gotten rid of quite a bit of it. Again, they smoothened out the edges, the more complicated stuff from On Tour.
Oh, right.
But that means they actually got rid of, some of the kind of gondola-like set pieces. And also, of course, it's Son of a Birch. That was probably my least favorite track from On Tour.
Yeah.
If they had to pick one from the middle, because probably any of the city stuff at the bottom of the mountain would have been too complicated. I'd have wished they did like higher learning, maybe even half banked, because like Son of a Birch, especially with being a slopestyle track, you just do not have a lot of good opportunities. Like it was not designed as a real tricky track.
Yeah.
So like, you'll see that I never really have the air to do like a full Uber trick, and also like when you see me go up in the air and get a big jump that I could do an Uber trick on, and my character just kind of spins and flips and does nothing else, that was me guaranteed trying to do an Uber trick and it not registering.
So that right there?
So like, luckily I got, my points already, because in almost the back half of the track, note how I just can't get a goddamn Uber to register.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my goodness.
that initial one, that just do a loop. You think like, okay, that's the one where it'll, register like anytime. That's my fallback. And sometimes it is. That's the crazy thing about this game. Ubers that at one point I can do like every time I try will suddenly like become I can't get them at all.
Is there like a limiter to the fucking Uber tricks or something?
No, it's just maybe I'm sloppy. Maybe my controller's fucking up. Maybe something. But I just can't get the input to register.
I gotta say real quick, the music that was on the last track I actually really like. And I think this is the same song. Maybe? I don't remember.
I don't know. Like again, like I don't even have track names. I really can't like differentiate these.
Yeah, unfortunately, like me in particular, like when it comes to unlicensed music or original soundtracks, like it tends to be in one ear and out the other.
But actually, I do want to bring up one of the Uber tricks that I unlocked. One of the full ones, when you see kind of like, okay, basically how you do it is you shake or you move the Wiimote up, down, up, and the nunchuck down, up, down.
Oh yeah, that one.
But actually, that kind of works most of the time, and that's kind of what you were talking about, Blank Tester, with terms of like, what if the Uber tricks were just like shaking the Wiimote, but not drawing a whole shape, kind of. Yeah, so like hit the A button, just like down, up, down. Yeah, you have to have the coordination to do opposites with the Wiimote and nunchuck, but I found, again, that's actually one of the more reliable Ubers. You know, compared to, again, drawing like a whole treble clef or
I mean,
the kind
I'm kind of making the motion with my hands right now, and I can see how.
Yeah, it's really not too bad to do that.
Yeah. Especially, as you just said, compared to like making an entire shape.
And like, if you made a second Uber the other direction, like instead of down, up, down, it was up, down, up, and you know, vice versa with the other nunchuck. There you go. It doesn't really matter whether I do the one or the other. Yeah. You know, as a little kid playing the game or whatever, you'd just be like, whatever. I just do a thing, and a cool trick happens.
Yeah, because like the Ubers, sorry Zane, the Ubers where it is looking like N's or Z's, are really like just looking for one kind of cardinal direction. Like to do the Z to do the Z level 1 Uber, you don't need to like do a whole diagonal in the middle. You can just go, right, left, right, and basically do the horizontal part.
Gets nuclear.
And I'll say also, it is kind of weird though how then when you get more Ubers and you try to draw them, you'll accidentally end up doing other Ubers, like other shapes. Like that'll be a big thing coming up. Oh, and here's another outfit where one of the Ubers I unlocked is basically you do an M. And all of a sudden, you'll see me accidentally do one of the level 1 Ubers that doesn't feel like it should be anywhere close. I don't know.
Yeah, because the more you unlock, the more error ones that they can throw at. I mean, the more room for error there is.
It kind of started to feel like, okay, if I really wanted to do that level 1 Uber, I should just try the input for the level 2 that the game keeps recognizing as the level 1.
Yeah.
But,
what I was saying in the previous video was that I think it would be better if it was just like a button combination and then just shake the remote, you know? So like, you just need to remember that it's Z and C and A, and then you shake both, or something like that, you know? As opposed to Z and A, or C and A, or Z and C, and then shake, you know, something like that.
I guess they just really want to get their money's worth out of the Wii motion control thing, which, by the way, I can sometimes actually see your movement, but the problem is that with this being so bright and white, having, like, a magic show about that's also just as bright just makes it so hard to see what you're even doing. Like, it's just... This game is too bright. That's
I don't know.
Problem.
Maybe it does get a bit brighter through recording, but
I guess it's
again,
possible.
I don't know how to like. I don't want to like do a filter or something.
I recognize this song. Where have I heard this song before? I know it's.
I mean, this is all original stuff, so maybe it was on the menus.
I feel like this is an older Junkie. I think this was in SSX 3, maybe. I don't know.
Really?
No.
It wasn't? Okay.
No.
Nah.
Yeah, I'd be really surprised if they used any old stuff.
Yeah.
Well, this definitely... Some of the songs on here sound pretty good, and other ones sound like what you might get if you were in like a piano or a keyboard store, and you press the demo button.
Can I just say right now, that one moment of the blinding light felt like I got flashbangs? Jesus.
Oh, dear. Oh, yeah, because it's like, isn't it like early morning where you are?
Yeah, kinda. It's just like having that glow of light just appear in the middle of the screen and grow and take over the entire screen like that. I just feel like they're going too far with the lighting.
Yeah. I mean, it does look actually good at some points.
It does.
I mean, in some ways, I think these tracks do look better than their PS2 counterparts. But also, yeah,
Look
I
at all
totally
the
see
weird
what you mean
shit
about
behind
the
the,
you qualified.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's also on in the other, like, whenever they use that
finished?
font, when in Finish, there was some stuff
I think I think they're using like weird little flourishes around the edges of the letters that just makes it look like there's something
behind it.
It doesn't look good.
You know, I know what I said earlier, but that loading screen definitely wasn't so fucking white when I was playing and looking at my TV. So maybe I will play it, because like Vegas has like a color curve thing that's better than just turning the brightness down. Maybe I will try to play with it a bit, but maybe it doesn't matter. I mean, it's SSX Blur, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, it's like, anytime you're in a bright white patch of snow, you're on the way to another patch of snow that's less bright. So, like, not a huge
I mean,
deal.
this looks
you got
really
covered in
cool.
snow, that's great. Oh, that looked awesome, actually.
Sorry, what?
What?
Like, what did you point out? You got
Oh,
talked
I was
over.
just saying, I thought it looked great how when you rolled in the snow, I never noticed your character actually gets covered in snow and then it disappears. Like,
That was
actually
a big
looked
thing in the 7th generation, like, in snowboarding games for some reason.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, when you fall, your character actually gets covered in snow.
I mean, it doesn't take away from that this game did it.
It does
looks
look nice.
decent.
Yeah.
That
it
is
looks
true,
nice.
yeah.
Like, when you don't get a face full of just pure white, when you can actually see, like, everything at the level, it looks really good, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, they clearly have some really talented artists on the team. It's just a shame that they didn't have...
Good
Yeah,
character artists.
someone saw, like, the future of Bloom and was like, we need more!
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, it's a shame they didn't have the time or money or whatever to make new levels for the game, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, as part of the cost cutting, I mean, I don't know. It is good, though, that if you have some muscle memory with the levels from before, it's not a total fucking mystery.
Yeah, like, my final heats in any of these races are just, you know, take the best line that I remember from doing them in On Tour or 3, you know, over and over.
Competition, first place.
First place.
Congrats.
God, new record.
Yeah.
Red
Really
Dead
destroying the
here.
freaking CPU here. My God.
Yeah, all the other racers were like really, really close, within a second of each other.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're on to another slalom event on Proud Powder, and this is the worst one.
Oh no!
Like, not only are slalom events just not good, again, because the game was not designed for them, your character tries to push forward every time they slow down, but specifically here, what line do they want me to take? At least that
God.
first slalom, like, was designed as part of the course where you go back and forth, but here, like, sure, I'm making this look doable. This is something where
Oh my god!
if you think, like, you have to play it yourself to see just how much you're gonna struggle with this. All the flags are so close together that you either get the perfect amount of slowing down and maybe that's what they want you to do, like, slow down, basically ride super slowly and sort of scoot back and forth. But again, like, that is a fucking thin line to actually get. So you see me, like, turning ridiculous amounts, like jumping to reset my guy. This is bad.
Yeah, this is a low point of the series.
There are so many games I can think of that have a slalom, and yet, for some reason, doing a slalom is a challenge. Like, you think it'd be simple, but then it's like, they have lines where you're just like, where the fuck do I go?
I mean,
Yeah.
This looks like it would be, like, bad in a normal SSX game. Like,
the thing is, like, I don't know what, like, even with standard controls, slaloming is just a really, really easy challenge to put into a game, right? Like, oh, we need another event type. What should it be? I can just put down some flag markers in a line, and then the players go, I don't know, slaloming between them. Like, I don't mean that the game devs were lazy. I just mean, like, if you don't have the time to build something really great, this is kind of an option, I guess.
Yeah, but I don't really mind, like, having a slalom thing. It's a snowboarding game. Like, I feel like slaloming is something that you can basically put into this. It's just committing to it. Because for some reason, it's like, it's easy to put in a slalom, but it's like you have to be some kind of a fucking genius to make a good slalom.
Like, you look at the other slaloms, the first one on Wild Tree Fun. Sure, it still wasn't great, but, like, that part of the track was specifically designed to kind of be a back and forth, so it works. The third slalom up on Ruthless, I'd say is actually fine, because it's like, the flags are way more spread out and challenge you more in getting between them and the wall, getting between thin areas. Here, again, they're so close together. This part of the track was not designed with that in mind at all. You saw so many parts that bumped me up into the air, kicked me up into the air, and that's going to make you miss flags. Like, and even this, like, they drop you, and you have to, like, have played the game as much as I have to even be able to get that first flag. Like, from the drop, this is a badly laid out one.
Yeah. Like...
Yeah, I think if they had spread them out a lot more, it would have been fine. And honestly, I don't even think necessarily that flags were the right way to go. It should have probably just been, like, you see, like, a big red wall that you can pass through, like a semi-transparent thing, and it's telling you, like, break through all the walls. And it's basically a slalom. Yeah, it's basically a slalom, but you get to go, like, okay, you gotta go on the left side of the track on this part, right side of the track on the next one, but in between there's a lot of space.
Yeah.
More space makes it so much better.
Like, as soon as they give you some damn space, after, like, the 15th flag or so, this back part of it is fine.
Yeah,
but
this part seems
torture
fine.
Getting there.
Yeah. Why are we doing it again?
Yeah, final heat.
Yeah.
Oh god,
Remember, I restarted
yeah.
a bunch,
That sucks.
And it goes 26 out of 28 and then it's finished?
I missed 2.
Oh, okay. I didn't see you miss any of it.
So note this. I missed 2 flags. Actually, I only missed 1, and then the game, like, fucked up and thought I missed 1, which added 40 seconds to my time, and I still won by 20 seconds. The game expects you to go so slow that if I'd spent 30 more seconds doing everything I could to not miss any flags, I'd have gotten a time 10 seconds better. I'd have won by more.
Yeah.
Wake up. You don't want to miss what's
Just as a note with the
But it's over
slaloms,
for the moment.
just a note for the slaloms. Is it one of those slaloms where if you miss more than 3 flags, you basically have to restart the whole thing? Like you fail?
No, it's a time penalty, I think.
Well, it's just time penalty, I think.
It's time penalties, but yes, because that means your time is a minute more than it could have been.
Yeah.
Like-
Because it's 20 seconds per flag.
They punish you so much that, again, if I spent 30 seconds on a minute and 30 second event, doing everything in my power to not miss any, I'd have won by more. So they, go slow. Like, go slow. I was, yeah.
What a strange, thing to be harsh about in a Wii game for kids.
Yeah.
It was like, Wii game for kids, pretty childish aesthetic, but if you miss a flag in this event, you get a 20-second time penalty.
I guess I'll bring up like a different game that also had a slalom. It was called Ants Extreme Racing, and
oh yeah,
yeah, this fucking game, like, if you missed more than 3 flags in those slaloms, you were forced to restart the entire thing, and they were so bullshit. You would have no choice but to use muscle memory to even take care of where the fuck they all are, because they can just come out of nowhere.
We didn't play through that game, right? We just dicked around
Yeah,
in the
that was
multiplayer.
like a
Let's not play.
20 minutes, let's not play.
Yeah. That game was awesome. And so was oh gosh, what was the Shrek one we did?
Yeah, like Shrek Racing or
Smash and
whatever.
Crash or something?
Yeah.
Smash and Crash, yeah.
Bash and
So we're here
Crash
on a
and-
half pipe where I can really show off, the full Uber tricks. So since it's basically SSX on tours, like entire structure, you do still get the thing where like all of your UI fades away except for Uber Duber, when you do one. And so you don't exactly know how many points you're going to get, but that's not as much of a problem, considering doing one and holding it out over a whole jump will again get you like up to 100,000 points. You just need to do a few of those and clear, 800,000 rather than do ones back to back to back to back on every jump for 6+ minutes to clear like 2 million. So, sure, it's still a weird design decision, but it's nowhere near as much of a issue,
Also, I maybe I'm misremembering. This game doesn't have a combo system, right?
Right.
So, like,
again, you're basically just trying to trick enough to keep your Uber bar at the top and get the best multiplier. When you're up here at Uber Duber and there's that kind of horizontal bar showing you basically, time running out between your tricks.
Yeah.
Again, this gets you the best multiplier. And one thing interesting about the full Ubers, they do still do, you do the level 1 animation and then go into the full animation, so you can cancel those out. You start, doing the level 1 thing, and you're like, I can't do this full trick. Mash A or B to end the trick, and your guy won't go into the full Uber trick.
That's pretty cool, actually.
That's good, yeah.
I don't know why, but that reminds me of how in both Dave Mirra 1 and 2, if you start a double backflip and just so happen to land a single backflip, it'll, count, it'll not only count it, but it'll count it as a single backflip. But it saves you, pretty much. I don't know why it reminded me of that.
Yeah, I mean...
this strangely good quality of life choice.
Yeah. Honestly, this is the most fun you can really have with the whole motion control thing, because it's you're given so much time in the air to do the
just
motions.
Noodle, try things.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Noodling is my favorite activity to do in SSX Blur.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh shit.
Yeah. That was the 4th tournament, and with that, we unlock Peak 3. On the Rocks, History Lesson, and Ruthless. History Lesson is a renamed Style Mile. I don't know why they needed to rename it.
Because Style Mile in other countries means something
Style
real
kilometer.
dirty.
Oh.
Style kilometer.
And just a very tiny thing. When you're going through a tournament and you are going through the events, in the middle, not at the final one, the game will default to, continue, go on to the next thing. Of course, you still want to check because you don't want to accidentally, move your hand over and hit give up. I have done that. But then at the very end, when you've won it, the game defaults to play again. Why? You've already done the tournament, so I guess if you hit that and then just quit, you're not gonna. It's not gonna reset your progress.
I can still
it's
frustrating.
Alright, so this hub area is the peak from On Tour. You can drop off to the left to go to Ruthless, drop off to the right to go to either On the Rocks or History Lesson. Again, I'm just going to be doing the tournaments, and assuming that's what you want to see from Blur. And so now that we're on Peak 3, the next tournaments will be a single event type, but across all the courses that are built for that. So a slopestyle tournament across the 3 slopestyle tracks, a half-pipe tournament across those, big air across those. A bunch of tricking. So you'll see that next time on SSX Blur.